Might as well. Is this a safe station? Not to the roof. To the street. Please read this if you are a young person. By Will O'Neill. If I have any fear about putting this project out, it's that somebody who is in the midst of a difficult time growing up will see this game and think that it applies to them. I'm not gonna say that I was not a lot like you. I probably was. I've struggled with feelings of anger and depression since I was very young. No more than 12 or 13 years old. I don't need to get into what the problems both causing and caused by this were and still are. I think the things that happen in this game make them pretty clear. It's also pretty clear where all of this is headed. But listen, the fact that you are young means in and of itself that you still have a lot of time to change things. That doesn't mean you're going to get everything you want, but I promise that you can do a lot better than you will if you give yourself over to despair. It's when you get into your late 20s and early 30s that, like the protagonists in this game, and like me, that a lot of the choices you had made earlier can start to come seriously into play. A lot of doors can begin to close. A lot of things start to go on without you. I've been the way that I am my entire life. But let me tell you something. It's different now. And I'm seeing more and more how things will only get even more difficult over even more time. In the end, that's what this game is about. An endgame. Somebody whose pain has slowly risen in excess of their ability to deal with it. Somebody whose options have become totally disconnected from fantasies and regrets that they can't turn away from. This game is not a game. It's a portrait. I've created it to document something that I think is human and beautiful and real. And if you appreciate that, great. That's what art is. Don't get it twisted. It's about a 30-something corporate dead-ender with no youthful energy. No people his own age who hadn't moved on in life that he can turn to. And no time or money left to change or undo any of those things. I don't care how fucked up you think your life is. If you aren't at least 25, that ain't you. So don't. Don't you fucking dare. Okay. My career passion is to not be stabbed. My career passion is to not be a stabbed homeless guy. By Even Winter, uncertified life coach. When you sit down to do your daily 1 hour personal career goal, timeout focus affirmation session, what amps you to the max? What motivates and engages you to take it to the next level? I mean, we'd all like to imagine the possibility of prosperity for everyone, or at least everyone of our ethnicity, I did not say that right, with a similar educational background. But some people are winners, whereas others are merely honest. In the past, it was relevant for people to look at their professional arc a lot differently. What's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? What type of commute or living environment really meets your personal needs? What sort of retirement situation are you envisioning? And how would you like to see your defined benefit pension plan invested? Today, however, the good news is that none of these questions matter. Today, it is simply sufficient to ask yourself if you would or would rather not drink yourself to sleep on a vent every night. Nobody likes a 2-hour commute, but would you rather walk 17 blocks in the dead of winter for a cup of soup? Nobody appreciates an inability to visit the dentist, but would you rather get your teeth clubbed out by a disgruntled police officer? And the people on top, they wonder how they ever lost this plot to begin with. Why did we ever give anyone anything, they say? Why didn't we just ask them if they'd rather be a stabbed homeless guy? I don't know what to say, but I do want to give him something. Thanks, pal. You got a smoke? No. Sorry, man. Let's look at the tree. Oh, damn it. Patient transcript, Even Winter. Do you understand that, in many ways, you're very fortunate? What do you mean? You've had access to education and security. You're a white male. There's a great deal of privilege intertwined with nearly everything about who you are. I don't know. I feel an awful like a member of that club in name and sight only. I don't have some friend with a cottage. I've never participated in any mud-based fitness challenges. And there are no adorable blondes meeting me for blind dates at ironic board game cafes. Those aren't the types of advantages I'm talking about. I know, but they're the types of advantages that education and security make worth having in the first place, aren't they? What would even change if I lived some kind of cart life for $7 an hour? What do you think? I think it would just mean being openly rejected by the types of people who only pretended to accept me now. And that isn't worth something? All I'm talking about is being something, but not being a part of it. Coffee? Fruit? Thanks. Have a great day! Recent transactions, checking debt, debt, savings, credit cards, display all balances. Checking balance, 2,000. Savings balance, zip. 3,000, note payment overdue. Credit card balance, note payment overdue. Security of Canadians is our first concern. Change your PIN today. Lovely. Take the streetcar to work? Sure, why not? He stares straight ahead. Okay. Hey, excuse me. All strangers are entrepreneurs, by Even Winter. Hi! I noticed that you made eye contact with me for half a second, and then immediately regretted it. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm a fucking asshole. I'm disgusting. Do I want to talk to you because I sincerely cherish a genuine sense of community and goodwill towards men? Nope! I am an absolute loser, bothering one stranger after another in an awkward revelation of my own failure. I'm looking for somebody to become my downline in a multi-level marketing scheme. I think you ought to change religions. I'm one of those charity people who used to wear an apron so people would know to avoid me. I want to ask you out to coffee, rub your shoulders while the dirty sleeves of my jean jacket infect your pores, and then try to have sex with you before you realize that I'm unemployed. I am that legitimately horrible and sad person that you could one day be like. The one a dumb story happened to. The one who got a DUI, and then they found weed in my car, plus the money I stole from work. My family is dead, and I have no friends, and I'm desperate for anybody to talk to. Even though I have nothing to say, and I know that nobody likes me. Or maybe you would like me, but you don't want to know. I'm that weird, bitter asshole who barks at cashiers and hits on waitresses and holds up the universe. But I am a human being, and there is nothing I can do to make God stop loving me. Everywhere I go, I tell the few people who can barely stand me the same exact thing. That everyone is just way too uptight about talking to strangers. Even though I am exactly the reason that absolutely nobody wants to. Then I say, chill out, or some extremely dated piece of slang that solidifies me as even more creepy. This is when you realize I am trying to look at your boobs, or your shoes, or that I don't even have the confidence to meet your eyeline, and that some time of instinct dawns on you that says, hey, your shoelace is untied. Oh, thanks. I'm not sitting right next to somebody. Yeah, I like doing that. This is a couch for guests and clients to sit on while they wait to see somebody. It's the only well-kept piece of furniture in the office. Real plant. The one in the back is a fake. There isn't much to say about what I do for a living. We're just like everyone else. Do we work in marketing? In finance? For the government? For the people? For good? For evil? Does it matter? No matter what, if we can make money off of it, and you ask us if we can do it, we say yes. If you ask us what we do is effective, middle managers who hired us, whose job security depends on us having been effective, will tell you yes. If you ask us what we do is important, we'll point you in the direction of the media channel that makes a living off of reporting on our industry, and they will say yes. A lie that everybody can pay their mortgage with becomes the truth faster than you would believe. But, in the end, we're really just a bunch of white people pushing piles of money around in circles, while reality occurs in parts unknown. We go to conferences, and the maids break their backs cleaning our hotel rooms. We eat at restaurants while the cooks trip and immolates each in blistering oil. Janitors have heart attacks buffering floors on a graveyard shift for 30 years. And all of this, for what? Networking. Best practices. Leadership. But we don't let anyone into the network. And we don't practice anything. And we don't lead anyone anywhere but someplace fucked up, where we get paid and they get dick. And everyone goes home and does their job the same way anyways, doing exactly whatever some boss wants. So who are we, and what do we have here? We send emails, we go to meetings, we hope to one day get high enough to become invincible, and to be rewarded even when we fuck everybody and everything up. Sometimes I think, could I go my whole career without doing a single useful maternal thing? Did a street sweeper eclipse my social utility the day he picked up a piece of gum? This is a poster with an internet meme from 2 or 3 years ago. I think the owners put it up to make us seem tech-savvy, but all of it really signals is the fact that we don't know when something is over. What's in here? Oh, the break room. Trash can. An oversized recycling bin of chart paper by Even Winter. A few years ago, the bosses went to a 3-day, $5,000 leadership seminar and came back convinced that the reason the company wasn't growing was because people weren't collaborative enough. Accordingly, with no collaboration, it was determined that everything anyone said in a meeting had to be not only written down, but written down such that arrows could jut out of it, allowing any free associations about it to be captured as well. This policy lasted precisely 1 meeting, after which time the walls of the room were covered from floor to ceiling with graph paper containing what appeared to be indecipherable corporate thought of a mental hospital. The paper was then torn down and placed into this bin, where it remains to this day. The financial problems that the company had been having would later be linked to excessive overhead in the area of leadership development. Of course, this leadership development was never recorded as compensation, and this, among other things, were not factored into the deeply disappointing salaries the owners were then forced to draw for that year. Salaries which, of course, were ample evidence of the total impossibility of providing any employees with bonuses or raises. And yet, to be honest, this story gives me a good feeling, because I know that nothing this fucked up can go on forever. Well then. Oh, I'm sorry. Patient transcript, Even Winter. There's somebody I work with. She's sick. It's the kind of sick that doesn't quite get you on disability. It just fucks with you dead in the middle of being able to have a job, but not able to be any good at it. She misses a lot of work for medical appointments. Is that is that still what you're calling them? All I've ever seen is somebody wait for 2 hours, wait another 6 hours for a test, and then wait another 3 hours to find out it was inconclusive. Where's the medicine? Where's the appointment? You're upset about this. Most people are upset about this. No, I mean you're upset about it in a way that you usually aren't. You care about this person. And this story isn't noise. It's different. You were there. She was alone. I was around. Do you really feel that way about it? I was in a situation where refusing to help somebody would have made me very bad. It doesn't make me very good. And the last thing I want is to end up even more involved in it. Right. Except now you know that it might matter if you aren't. I'm fine. I know. I'll be out later. Is there a meeting in here? I don't think so. I'll check. No, don't. I just need a minute. Well then. Well-informed and worthwhile opinions that fill the trash cans of agencies around the world, but even winter. I like the idea of having statements that specifically talk about the impact our product has on customers, but how are we really telling our brand story? This still image of an inanimate object really needs to have a stronger sense of movement throughout. This line of meaningless rhetoric in this thing that is fundamentally about absolutely nothing really isn't adding any value. I saw this thing last night in the movie, and I loved it. Our thing should be just as good. Because even though our budget is 1/16 of what it took to create that, I can still remember a time when it was only half. Okay, here's the deal. I don't like this thing. I don't have any real reason for disliking it. I dislike it the way that certain people don't like pickles, or we're gay, or we're gay, I don't know. It's just idle preference. I don't go to school for marketing or advertising or design or writing or anything like that. I just got a job at a corporation, and one day they decided to shelve me here because I figured at least there was a hard limit to how much damage I could do. Another possibility is that I'm actually very intelligent, but in the wrong gender or ethnicity. I'm gonna try my best, I'm sorry. And I needed to be put somewhere prominent, but ultimately harmless. Either way, I've either come to not care that my actions are devoid of any rationale, or, even more dangerously, I believe that my intuitions represent some sort of natural capability. I've either always been like this and consequently started my own company because I was incapable of working for someone else, or it happened to me after being promoted to a level high enough that people just stopped bothering to disagree with you. So you know, I'm just not sure about the blue. Oh, God. You'll have to come back in 5, I'm just getting ready for a call. I actually don't even know why I'm standing here. Where did I put the proposal? I just had it. It was right here last night. I don't have time to look for it. Natasha, I need another copy of the proposal printed out. Please and thank you. I'm busy. Is Jackie here then? I need it for my call. I don't know why I have it. It was literally sitting here last night. This is Troy. Nobody likes Troy, including me. But I feel for him. He's married, late 40s or so, commutes 2 hours from the deep suburbs every day, and works on weekends all the time. I can't even imagine the last time he saw the house he spends every day paying for in the actual sunlight. 3 kids, wife doesn't work, and even though he's the most experienced and senior person here, there's always a palpable sense in the air that he would be the first person to wipe down the urinals if the owner told him to. I think about what he might have been like as a younger guy at his wedding, or one of those other things that make you feel like the future has a future. Oh, Evan, how are you doing? Hey, Natasha. How's it going? Okay. Okay. Talk to you later, I guess. Okay. Nobody knows much about Natasha. She can't really speak English. She does a bunch for her administrative work. She couldn't possibly make very much money. And she has a way of smiling at you that discourages any kind of follow-up questions whatsoever. She looks like she's in her late 40s, but something tells me she might look a lot older than she actually is. It's not that she has some kind of hard, chiseled beauty. No. She just looks like she's been through more than she should have. And where they found her? Who knows? Hey, message me. Huh? Ah. Messaging local. Logging in. Online. Tori, sorry, it's just too early in the morning to have Natasha glaring at me. Sure. What's up? Nothing. What did you do all weekend? Did you go out? On Friday, yeah. I went to the Jackson right after work until 3 in the morning. Don't remember it and never meant to. Don't start. I'm starting. You live in downtown Toronto, have all the free time in the world, and you go to a sports bar in a chain hotel. Why are you even alive? I don't know. I'm not into this hipster bullshit. What hipster bullshit? You mean cool and interesting places? Sorry. Drinking is drinking. What's the difference? Between sales convention tourists and people your own age? Is that a serious question? And I am not a hipster, even if saying so proves it. No kidding. Your parents aren't nearly rich enough. If you hate money, I can help you with that. All I'm saying is that the worst thing about nice things are the people who can afford them. Nice things would be better off with you? I don't know. It's just sad. But you love being sad. It's cool to be sad. No, it isn't. It's just sad. Transcript late night show. In progress. Guest, Even Winters. I mean, I'm a little surprised you aren't out there going out with all kinds of chicks. Well, for a long time, women really only hurt me. I mean, it wasn't their fault at all. It was really just the natural outcome of somebody who looks like me being interested in them. You weren't, doing too well, huh? You have to understand what it does to a person to work that emotion for so long. To turn something that is supposed to be beautiful into nothing, but a signal of immense misery. Well, we all know what that can be like. No, I actually don't think that we all do. Most people, they win some, they lose some, and it's all just some fucking song on the radio. That's a lot different than knowing for certain that your love is something that is going to hurt people you care about. And that'll only hurt you too. Still, you've gotta try. No, the only thing you've gotta try is to never feel a goddamn thing for anybody. Because you don't want to make them feel awkward. And you damn sure don't want their pity. So what do? Nothing, really. You try to be cool until you can't stand it anymore. And then you just stop talking to them. Boy, you're a real pal. Oh, I know. And believe me, realizing that you can either be a bad guy or non-guy is a point where you just stop talking to women completely. Oh, so you stopped talking to women you were attracted to completely? Well, sometimes you meet somebody and you just don't have a choice. Maybe all that pain just seems worth going through all over again. Maybe you think things will be different this time. No, you know better than that. You just... I don't know. I know it's really stupid, and I know it isn't even true, but I really, really love her. Well, we'll be right back after these messages with Evan Winter, the stupid liar. Evan? Sorry. What? Can you come to that meeting tomorrow? What? Oh, sure. You're too funny. Tori, I try to work. Please be quiet. Sorry, Natasha. Oh no, Evan, you don't worry. Jeez. Okay, Natasha's a bitch. This is Russell. He's like a less successful version of my brother. Whereas my brother gets paid handsomely to do basically nothing, and can hire all the lawyers and accountants in the world to defend it. Russell has mastered the limited middle-class version of this, being a psychopathic little shithead. He works from home so much that he doesn't even bother having a desk anymore. In fact, he really only shows up to the office to watch sports highlights on the plasma screen that we bought to facilitate better team collaboration. He's the kind of person whose enthusiasm is so facile? I don't know. And transparent that everything he says to you feels like an insult to your intelligence. Assuming you have any. When it's all over, and everyone who actually does anything has been completely outsourced, the Russells of the world will be the last men standing in the corporate megaverse. They'll be on the conference calls, their bosses in China, going on about how everything is going great, just great, except for the following people who have really let them down. Yeah, they're just really not hitting it. They're not getting it. I'm just looking at this stuff and jeez, I don't know. It's just not right. But what do you guys think? What's up, bro? Nothing, man. Hey, can you ask your brother if he's interested in that thing I told him about? What thing? Trust me, bro, he'll know what I mean. It's an amazing opportunity. Cool. I haven't seen him in a while, but I'll let him know. Fuck. Alright. From Paula Young, Sir Partner... I don't know what that is. Chairwoman. To all staff. Subject, my resignation, live for your dreams. Priority, high. Dearest employees, it is with a bittersweet mixture of joy and sadness that I must announce my divestment and resignation from the company, effective immediately. While I would have preferred to be available to help with the numerous surprise obstacles that this will present, the timing of my departure coincided with existing travel plans that could not have been changed without putting my elite passenger status on Air Canada at risk. When I began my career as an employee to an agency similar to ours over 15 years ago, things were much more difficult. All my peers seemed to question my opinions, dismiss my ideas, and even make faces at me as if I was some kind of stupid idiot. For me, the meaning of this was clear. I was much more capable, creative, and out of the box than everybody around me. A true maverick. With the agreement of my husband and his financial support, I founded this organization. The point of this story is clear. You've got to live your values. You've got to choose the life that you want to live, and make it happen, just like I did. I've often asked myself why all of you seem to be so stressed out and miserable, as if some horrifically ignorant force, oblivious to its own recklessness, was compelling you to do things that don't make any sense. Someday, I hope you'll realize that you can do whatever you want. You just have to go for it. The next chapter in my life, for example, will be through a line of motivational handbags that I misdeleted. Is there an extra stapler in there? I can't find my stapler. Sorry, man, I'm not touching any of this shit. He's really not touching it. Okay. From Roy Parsons, President and CEO, to Sender. Subject, vacation alert. Please note that I will be out of the office this week, Monday through Thursday inclusive. If you are writing about the numerous large projects that have key deliverables due on Friday afternoon, please note that my calendar on Friday morning is limited due to a networking jog/brunch. If you are a client, please rest assured that I will curiously review your work 10 minutes before you are supposed to have it. blame others for my total lack of context regarding what it even is, and ask that it will be completely restarted and refinished in a matter of hours, regardless of the merit or necessity of my proposed improvements to it. I bought my job, and I am a clown. In my bottom desk drawer, though, as a god-awful television pilot, I wrote about how I'm a genius who brings a magical finishing touch to all of the work of a company who is overjoyed to bask in my creative glory despite my near continuous absence, my petulant childness, and my total lack of solidarity with the people I'm supposed to be leading. There's a scene where a beautiful 22-year-old graphic design intern tells me of how artistically inspired she was by the mixtape I gave her of all my favorite bands, including the one I used to play in. I seriously have no idea how fucking retarded I am. Very truly, Roy Parsons. President, CEO, Chief Creative Officer, Ideas Guy. Well then. Plant. Okay. Chair. Person. Later, bro. Okay, I'm supposed to do something. I'm not entirely sure what, though. Work? Yeah, why not? Patient transcript? Even winter. You talk about depression, but it doesn't seem to affect your ability to work an 8-hour day. I treat people who can't even get out of bed. There's something about being around people who aren't fucked up that makes me a different person, I guess. Maybe I feel like looking weak in front of normal people is the saddest thing that anyone could possibly do. So what changes when you leave? Well, there's no way around, I guess. And what happens then? I don't know. I find myself in stupid places, doing stupid things. Are you saying you have no memory of how you get there? No. I remember how. I just never remember why.